Good evening, Miss Cherie.
Hello.
How are you going?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good. Just did a nervous wee. All good. As I do. I don't know how many of these masterclasses I do, but yeah, always get a bit nervy beforehand. Hey, Patricia.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I just did an awesome meditation about an hour ago.
Nice. How nice.
Joe Dispenza's pineal gland stimulation.
Gotta love a pineal gland stimulation.
Yeah. Anyway, it was probably one of the best I've done for ages.
Fantastic. Well, that's good to hear. Excellent. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Office 10, whoever Office 10 is. There she is. Oh, it's Jude. Hello. Jude.
I worked it out.
Oh, good. Excellent.
I thought, why aren't I on?
Yeah. Now you got it. Excellent. Yeah. Now, would someone just be able to say, do something in the chat box for me, just so I can whip it up on my screen? That would be lovely. And hello, Michelle. Michelle's my new best friend from last night. It's good to see you again. Excellent. Oh, thank you. Excellent. Brilliant. Lovely. Thank you.
I had my camera off because I was eating. So I'm sneaking over here eating my dinner.
That's excellent. So Michelle and I met last night. I was actually such a spur of the moment thing. On Sunday night, one of my friends who is who does human design stuff as well, Ines, she was doing a talk for a women's circle group, and she said, "I'm sick. Can you stand in?" And I'm like, yeah, I can stand in. And so did it last night. So with less than 24 hours notice, boom, I come on, speak of the devil. Here she comes now, Ines. So yeah, joined in the group last night, and it was fantastic. Had a great time.
It was awesome.
Excellent. I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
We did. We both did. Simone and I really loved it. And Carolyn did too, I believe. Yeah. So excellent. It was really good.
I bet Simone is a self-projected projector. It answered lots of things for her.
Absolutely. And interestingly enough, her daughter with the 16 in her number has had chaos from the minute that we walked out the door all through the day today. So wow. It was just like, yep, absolutely. So very much explains a lot of stuff for her.
Excellent. Awesome. I love the clarity that human design brings. It's awesome. Excellent. And hello, Ines, and hello, Catherine. Good to see you. Turn your videos on if you can. That would be lovely. And Jackie Robertson's here. Yay.
Hi.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Long time no see.
I know. It's been a while.
I know, right? Have you missed me?
Of course. I've been stalking you on socials.
I know. I see it every day. I see a little like, and it's Jackie Martin. I'm like, there she is. I love it. I take note of everyone's likes and comments. I love seeing it. Gives me beautiful pats on the backs. And how are you feeling, Ines? I hope you're feeling a bit better, my love. She's muted herself. All good. And Jude, I have not seen you for how pre-COVID.
Yes.
Yes.
You're looking good.
We must remedy that. Well, thank you.
We must.
Yes, we must. Excellent. Leaving video off, Jude. Yep, no worries, Ines. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, I hope you're feeling okay, you poor little sausage. But we did have a wow of a time last night, I have to say. So yeah, it was good fun. Excellent. All right, so we'll just wait a few more minutes and let everyone who's going to jump on. We had 41, I think, register for this masterclass, which is cool. So usually we expect about 20% to show up live on the night. So you guys are the lucky 20% this time, but the energy is always so much better on a live, I feel, anyway. Yeah. So because then you can participate, and then any questions that you specifically have as well, you can just ask me while I'm here, and it's all good. I'm just going to make sure there's no issues jumping on. Excellent. So there's a few people who are going to be a bit late. Some people are having trouble with their tablets, so that's all okay. Brilliant. That's why I said jump on 5 minutes early, because it's always the way. Always the way. I think that might have been Amelia. Excellent. And then there we go. Good. We've actually got lots of people coming tonight, which is good. Good. So while we're all waiting, would you like to just pop in the comments your name and who and where you're from? Because I want to see if I've covered all 4 corners of the country. There's Kirsty. Hello. Good to see. And Louise and Amelia. Amelia's another new best friend that I've that we've developed this lovely relationship with. Hello, Amelia.
Hello.
Amelia manifested this awesome situation with Delta Goodrum a few weeks ago. Are you still on cloud 9, Amelia?
Yeah, I think I'm like forever going to be on a bit of cloud 9 after that.
Yeah. Oh, she's just got such a magic voice, that girl. She's so good.
Does.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent. So we've got Patricia from Adelaide, we've got Kirsty from Albany, Jackie from Sydney, from Druin, and is that how I say it? Druin? Yeah, it is Druin, isn't it? Yeah, excellent. Cherie from Mackay, North Queensland. We've had lovely weather today, Cherie, but it's going to go to hell in a handbasket once again in the next few days. From Melbourne. Excellent. Who else? We've got Carol on. How are you, Carol? Jude from Melbourne. Jude's just down the road. Excellent. So good to have lots of people on tonight. Excellent. Just making sure I've got everybody. So 12 people. Yay. Brilliant. Okay. Brilliant. And Catherine from Kangaroo Island. What's the weather like in KI at the moment, Catherine?
You know what this subject is tonight?
All right. It's a little crap, is it?
Yeah. So the ferries were potentially cancelled today and it's windy as.
Oh, crikey. I'm actually flying to Queensland on Friday. So I'm hoping this wind settles down, but it was bin day for us and everyone leaves their bins out in front of our house because we're in a cul-de-sac. And of course, everyone's rubbish was all in our front yard today because the bins, as soon as you filled them up and put them upright, they were just getting knocked over again. So yeah, fun day chasing the bins and the rubbish around the yard today.
Yes, I've just put mine out, so fingers crossed.
Absolutely. Okay, well, if windy weather is the worst we have to deal with today, well, then it's been a good day.
Correct.
All good. Excellent. From Queensland, but in Melbourne. Excellent, Louise. Good to have you and thank you for coming. Excellent. All right, well, there's no one waiting, so I think we might just get started if that's okay with everyone. Thumbs up. Yeah. Excellent. I'm always going to do a bit of this. When I do this, just humour me and put thumbs up. It just means that you're all still with me. I've still got you all on board. So that would be appreciated. So thank you very much, everybody, for coming to this How to Polish a Turd Masterclass. Funny name, serious stuff. Because turd polishing, it's something that, well, to not learn how to polish a turd keeps us back. It holds us back from our full potential. And basically, life, we're going to get turds thrown at us all the time in life. So we might as well turn them into gold, hey?
Mhm.
So let's learn how to do it. So just before we start, I will just do a little bit of housekeeping just to make sure that this masterclass runs as smoothly as possible. So if we are tuning in from an iPad or a computer, if you could get rid of the browsers, because sometimes they can pop up and they can be quite distracting as well if you've got other pop-up windows happening. So if you want to turn off your browsers or turn to your do not disturb on your iPads, that would be really helpful. Helps you to stay focused and centered on the masterclass, stops any distractions. And also making sure that everyone has got a drink and pen and paper. So when those turds turn into gold nuggets, you can write them down because you don't want to miss anything. You'll have the recording, and look, I'm pretty free tomorrow, so I could probably make a little workbook up from the slides that I've created. So I might do that as well, just because I'm feeling magnanimous. But yeah, writing down notes is a really good way to cement things, especially for our line ones. So yeah, drinks, pen, paper, snacks, anything that you need to keep you in front of the screen and eyes on me. Do it. Do what you got to do. If you would be able to pop yourselves on mute, that would also be awesome, because that would just help if there's any kids crying in the background or any dogs barking or anything in the background. It can be really distracting because it will cut out to whatever new noise is going on. So yep, muting just helps to minimize those distractions, which is good. So thank you very much. Everyone's done that very quickly. Oh, here comes Sarah. Lovely. Yeah, now feel free to use the chat box. So I will be keeping an eye on it. I haven't got a ninja on tonight that will help me read the chat box, but I figured I've probably done, I don't know how many of these masterclasses. I'm pretty sure I'd be all right without one. So fingers crossed, we'll find out tonight, won't we? So I'll be keeping an eye on the chat box. If you have a question or if you have anything that you want to share, just put a Q or an S in the chat box and I'll come to you and then take yourself off and then share or ask your question from there. Okay. Oh, there we go. There's that muting we were talking about. Hello, Sarah. How are you going? I'm just going to pop you on mute, my lovely. But good to see you and thank you for coming. Now, if you're able to, I understand that some people's internet is a little bit shaky if you do, but if you could keep your cameras on, and I know that some people are a little bit poorly at the moment or if you're eating, etc. But if you could keep your cameras on, that actually helps me just to calibrate the room and make sure that I haven't left anyone behind. And if anyone's looking a bit lost, I can sort of check in with you and see how you're going. And it just helps to keep yourself and yeah, me. I just want to make sure I don't leave anyone behind. There's Sarah. Hello, Sarah. And there's Louise. Hello. The gang's all here. Good to see you. Excellent. And there's Carol. Hello, my love. How are you? Good to see you. Brilliant. Yeah, so use the chat box, cameras on. And at the end of the session, if what I'm talking about lights your fire, blows your hair back, floats your boat, does all of the things, I'm going to be popping in a link for a clarity call. If you want to have a chat with me about any of my coaching programs or any challenges that you have at the moment that you think that I might be able to help you with, or you just want to know a little bit more about what I do, completely obligation free, 45-minute session with me just to get a feel of what your challenges are and see if I can serve you in any way is what that call is all about. So I'll actually pop that link in now if it will allow me. Hang on, let me just see if I can be clever. Let's see if this works. Oh. Ta-da! Look at that. But if you can't copy and paste it onto whatever it is you need to copy and paste it onto, I will send it with the replay. So don't panic if you can't figure out how to get it. Okay. How are we going? All good? Pen and paper in hand, drinks in hand, ready to go. Hello, we've got Keely. Hello, is it Keely? Keel? Nice to have you.
No, hi, Kerry. No, it's Jane.
Jane. Excellent. Thanks, Jane. That's awesome. Brilliant. Great to have you, Jane. Thanks for coming. Excellent. Yeah, on also, very last thing. Sometimes my computer's a little bit old. Sometimes it does this thing where it does this keychain lock thing and I have to turn the whole computer off and restart it again. If that happens, hang in there. I will be with you in a few minutes. My coaching clients are very used to this. They'll be like, yeah, she'll be back. She'll be back. And they all just all talk amongst themselves. Actually, I've teed up Cherie to do a dance for you all. If that happens to happen, okay? So for 10 minutes, she will be doing the dance of the 7 veils while I get my computer back on board. So all look forward to that. And please don't be manifesting a computer breakdown so you can watch that display. Excellent. So what we're going to be talking about tonight is how to polish a turd, how to stop reliving the past and taking challenges from your future and turn them into gold. So turn them into a way that is going to be more empowering for you. So we're going to start off by talking about why many of us live in the past and we rehash the past and in a way that doesn't serve us, and why it's important that we rise above it. Then we're going to be talking about how we reenact the past. What's the process? Why does it keep us trapped? And why do we think about it in a negative way? Then we're going to be talking about maybe forgiving some of the things that happened to us in the past so they don't hold us back. And then future crap. Why does crap happen to us in the first place? Why does it happen? And the mindset shift that is going to help you move forward from all the crap, from all the turds. And then the important thing, what needs to happen before we forgive, before we do the mindset shift, the things that we need to do before any of that can happen. So it's going to be a big night with lots of content. It might be a little bit triggering for some people to be rethinking the past and thinking, well, why do I need to let that go? So I am certainly not here to tell you how to live your life, but I am definitely wanting to inspire you to think differently about things. So are we all happy to do that? Excellent. All good. So without further ado, let's share the screen and get going. Oh, hang on. What have I done here? What's that? Oh, here we go. Good. Share screen. Here we go. Excellent. Excellent. How many of you came along just because of the name? No? Okay, good. I must admit, I did have a little chuckle to myself when I did create that. It was either going to be called How to Polish a Turd or How to Turn Shit into Gold, one or the other, but Amanda Francis has actually stolen the How to Turn Shit into Gold. So that's why we're polishing turds tonight. So just a trigger warning for you all. So this content is designed to be very general in nature. And this session, this masterclass and coaching is actually not a substitute for professional help. So if you have got deep-seated trauma, you do need to see a professional about it, okay? So we will be talking about events of the past, and this may challenge your thinking and it may make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. But I do want you to know that you can handle it, because what is your strike rate so far for handling shit? 100%, because you're all here, okay? So you can handle it, okay? So when we're talking about things of the past, what happened to you was not your fault, but the responsibility for handling the things that trigger you does rest with you. Otherwise, it's going to control you. So it sucks that things have happened, but it's yours now, and what you do with it is up to you now. Okay, does that make sense for everyone? Yeah, excellent, cool. So just a little bit about me, because there's a few people on here who have not really met me before. So I'll just introduce myself a little bit. That picture pretty much sums me up. So welcome everybody. My name is Kerry. I'm 47, wife and mother of 2 teenagers. God help me. And my 14-year-old son has got autism and intellectual disability as well. So that adds an extra layer of challenge to things. I'm also a registered nurse. I've spent 20 years in the palliative hematology and oncology space. So that can prove to be quite challenging as well. I'm also a boss program personal stylist. I'm a human design specialist, and I am a human design mindset and energetics coach. So I love all things woo-woo. I love law of attraction, and I love using human design and helping that to bring women back to the truth of who they are. So that is my jam. So typical Manny Jen, I've got a lot of feathers in my cap, and I just love serving women to be the best that they can be. So why do I mention the specifics of the registered nurse, the son with autism? These two aspects of my life specifically have given me a lot of challenge to work with. So it's given me a lot of turds to polish, these two particular aspects of my life. So that's why I specifically mention these two. But lucky for me, my human design has specifically got me designed for turd polishing. So I'm made for this. Yeah, lucky me, hey? So I'm specifically designed for turd polishing. There are certain things in my makeup that 100% make me evolve into being a professional turd polisher. So first of all, I'm a manifesting generator. I find quickest way to get things done. I'm very inventive. So I think outside the box. I'm a 3-5 profile line. So if anyone who has done their human design, their profile lines is the natural skill set that they bring into this lifetime. And I'm a 3-5. So the line 3 is the experimenter. Things happen to me. Life finds me. Some of my friends say I have the worst luck of anyone they know because things just seem to happen to me because I am here for the experience. And my line 5 profile means that I'm here to give universal solutions, well, solutions on a universal level. So I'm here to provide universal solutions to everybody through my experience. So that means I'm going to get a lot of turds thrown my way so I can teach other people how to deal with it, how to polish them. I also have this little channel here. So this is called the 2838 Channel of Struggle. Wasn't I happy to see that on my chart? Oh, good. I've got the Channel of Struggle. But that actually makes me uniquely designed to find the meaning of life and to gain clarity through the contrast of struggle. So that is one of my superpowers. It's one of my natural skill sets. I find meaning through the struggle. And my struggle is for the greater good because I share it. I share how to move through it. I've also got the gate 51, which is called the gate of shock in my Jupiter. So Jupiter is your gift, and the gate of shock is all about shocking things happen to me, but I use it to transcend. I use it to push through. So that's part of my gifts of my design. And I've also got the gate 15 of extremes, which means that I'm very, very compassionate to the extremes in people's behaviors. So it allows me to wrap my head around things that other people may not be able to wrap their head around as much. So that is the makeup of a professional turd polisher. So there you go. So what is polishing a turd? Why are we here? What is it? It's basically turning your shit into gold. It's about turning the things that have held you down and the not so great things that have happened to you in the past, and also the not so great things that are going to happen to you in the future, because things are going to happen. It's life, but it's about the mindset shift that is going to help turn it into gold, that is going to help move you forward. So let's look at some professional turd polishers, just so we know what kind of company that we will be in once we learn how to polish our turds. And yeah, just some examples of what is possible. So we have got a great array of turd polishers here. So we've got Oprah. She has turned she was born into poverty. She was sexually abused from the age of about 12 or 14, I think she was. And she has managed to say to herself, okay, that's what I don't want. What do I do want? She is pretty much doing the polar opposite of what she was born into. She's realized what she doesn't want, and now she is living her best life and focusing on what she does want. Ashley Judd. She was sexually abused as a young child as well, and has been growing up, and now she uses that voice that she has earned through all of her struggle to help empower other women. So she is on the forefront of the Me Too movement, And so she's using what's happened to her to fuel her for her purpose. Jimmy Barnes, born into poverty, alcoholic parents. He has come a very, very long way from his humble beginnings. He's polished all those turds. Nelson Mandela, is there a more shinier turd than his? He spent 20 years in solitary confinement in a South African jail and came out and became the president of South Africa. And we're going to be using a quote from him as well. Trura Pitt has used her adversity. She was burned in during a cross-country marathon. Didn't look like she was going to survive, and she has turned that into triumph. And despite everything, she has still done Iron Woman competitions. We've also got Viktor Frankl, was imprisoned in Auschwitz, and he was he was a psychologist. He's no longer with us, but he used his experience, that horrible experience, and created a way of teaching psychologists that people can do anything to your body, but you can't get in up here. And then we've got I always get her name, Malalia. She was the young girl who stood up to the Taliban and got shot in the head, and even that didn't stop her. Now she's a voice for women, for Muslim women all around the world. So these people can truly show you what is possible from coming from really quite horrible, challenging situations, and they've overcome it. And some of them have even used it to fuel them. So what is the common factor with all these people? Is that they chose to be the victor, not the victim. Big shift. So they did not let what happened to them in the past dictate what they were going to be like in the future. So they took the crap from their past and they used it to fuel them, and they even used it to find their purpose. So there's some pretty powerful people in that little group. So why is moving on from our past important? So many people still live in the past. So our reactions and our behaviors and our compulsions, what we feel compelled to do, come from the emotional memories that we store from past experiences. So we let our past experiences shape how we will behave in the future. And this becomes our personality. So when something happens to us, we react in a certain way. When we learn that reaction and keep repeating it, it becomes who we are. It becomes part of our personality. And this is really great if we use it in a resourceful way. So it's really, really useful for when things happen to us, we look back on it and we think, right, that was a boundary crossing, that went against my values. These are now my new standards. If we use them in a really resourceful way, awesome. But if we use what happened to us in the past in an unresourceful way. Hi, Shelley. Just muting you, my darling. But if we use it in an unresourceful way, we reenact it. We stir up the old emotions again and again, and it causes states and behaviors that don't serve us or raise our vibration. So have you ever sort of sat back and rehashed an argument that you had with someone, and then all the emotions came up and you're like, oh my God, I'm so angry about that. Look, and you're perfectly all right before you started thinking about it. But then when you start mulling it over, and the anger and the contraction, and you feel it in your body happens again. Anyone relate to that? Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, so if we do it in an unresourceful way, if we rehash things over and over again, and we think badly of it, negatively of it, it's not going to serve us. It's going to get us into states that are going to lower our vibration. Okay. So let's talk about how we get stuck in the past. So it looks like a man with a really big nose, but it will be clear in a moment why I've circled those particular things. So this is what is called an NLP model. So this is how we process information. Okay. So, and I hope that you can see that. I realize the writing's a little bit small, but as I say, I'll create a workbook and I'll send it all out to you so you can have it on paper. So how we get stuck in the past. So something happens. There's an event or there is a person, something happens. You have an interaction with someone. There's some sort of trigger. So something happens. Now, our brains can only ever process 5 to 7 pieces of information at any given time. So every minute of every day, there is information all around us that our brain is taking in. So at the moment, we're feeling what our feet feel like in our UGG boots, how our clothes feel on our body, what are the smells that are around us, what's the temperature of the air, how's our hair feeling on our neck, how heavy are our glasses on our nose. All of these pieces of information are happening all the time, but not all of it is important. But there are millions of pieces of information that our brain can take in at any given moment, but it can only ever process 5 to 7 pieces of information at any given time. So how does our brain sort out what's important and what's not? Well, it deletes the things that aren't important, it distorts, and it generalizes all of the information that's coming into our brains at any given time. So our brain will delete and distort and generalize through our filters. So we can get that down to the 5 to 7 pieces of information. So what are our filters? Our filters are our past experiences and what makes us us. So the filters that we process information through is the memories that we have stored, the conditioning that we've had as children and as young adults, the belief systems that we carry. Whether we're male or female has a huge impact on how we have viewed the world from this point or up to this point. What are our values? What mood are we currently in? What culture? Is there any cultural influences that we use as filters? So, and there's dozens of other filters that we use, but that's just a little brief overview. So we filter information through memories, conditions, beliefs, trauma, mood, religion, values, all of these things. These are our filters, and that's how we filter information. And that's how our brain sorts out what's important and what's not. So once information goes through these filters, it gives us what's called an internal representation. What have we made? What that person said or that particular event, what have we made it mean about us? What meaning have we attached to what has just happened? And what we make it mean puts us in a particular emotional state. It will make us happy, sad, angry, any other emotion. And then our emotional state, from that emotional state, we will then display a behavior. So I'm going to put this into a rock solid example for you because I realize that that is a lot. Are most of you with me though? Does it make sense? Awesome. Yeah, so that's how we process information. So rock solid example of this is, who's had this happen before? You text someone, they didn't reply. Has this happened to everyone? Yep, absolutely. So yeah, someone didn't reply to a text. So information is there could be a dozen different reasons why that person didn't reply to your text. But if your filters, if what you're filtering that information through is your past experience, well, I was bullied at school and I've been hurt by friends in the past. They haven't been nice to me. And girls are really cruel and bitchy, and you're in a bad mood, what you're going to make that non-returning of a text mean is that, oh, she hates me. Obviously, she hates me. Or she just doesn't want to talk to me. She's being a bitch. Or, what have I done to upset her? Oh my God, did she hear what I said to such and such about her last week? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what she's not returning my text. So what have we made it mean through our filters. Then what we've made it mean, our emotional state, we either get angry. Why isn't she answering me? What have I done? What's her problem? Upset. Oh, she doesn't want to talk to me. Why doesn't she want to talk to me? Or anxious. Oh my God, I hope she didn't hear what I said about her the other week. And oh God, now I'm really worried and la, 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 la. So that emotional state, then we display a behavior because of that. So if we're angry, we will lash out. We'll call her. What's wrong with you? Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you answer me? Or you can be stressed out, or you can go into people pleasing. Oh, I'm not sure if you got that text or not, but look, if you wouldn't mind, people pleasing, fawning, smoothing it over. Does that make a lot more sense? Yep, awesome, excellent. So if we keep on processing the things from the past and what happens to us in a way that doesn't serve us, and if we keep on doing it on repeat, especially using the same filters that we've been filtering all that information through over and over again, it becomes our personality. So it becomes like, oh, she's just an angry person because she gets angry at everybody, or she's just a stress head, or she's just a people pleaser. She just wants to see everyone happy. So it becomes part of who we are when we keep on doing this on repeat in ways that doesn't serve us. Does that make sense? Excellent. And please, if you've got any questions, please jump on in as well, because no one's used the chat box yet. It's amazing. I usually get a few little chats before now. Yeah, so good. I'm glad that that's clear. So here's the thing. We are not objective beings. How we remember things is subjective to our filters, to what's happened to us, to our past experiences, our traumas, our beliefs. So it's very subjective how we remember things. And this is why two people watching the same scenario can interpret things in different ways, because no two people's filters are the same. My experiences are different to your experiences. My trauma is different to your trauma. My beliefs are different to your beliefs. So we've all got different filters. So the meaning that we attach to things is different. So even though we're looking at the same thing, we're interpreting it in different ways. So there's a little coaching thing it's called the map is not the territory. Every person's map is different because we've all got different filters. Okay. So say, for example, there's, you see a young person helping a little old lady across the road, and they're filming it on their phone as they're doing it. So one person can look at that scenario and go, oh, what a nice young person helping that little old lady across the road. Isn't that sweet? And another person could look at that and say, what a bloody show pony. What does he have to film it for? Like, it's exactly the same scene, but two very different opinions about what's going on. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that's how, two people see the same event very differently. So what we make situations and events and things mean can be very fluid. So if we have thought of an event in the negative, and as we reenact it, sometimes as we hash things over, and I am guilty, and I would love to see a show of hands to know that I'm not alone, as we reenact it in our minds, sometimes we embellish the story a little bit. Sometimes we add things in that we wish we had said. And then I turned around and I said to him that, actually, I didn't say that, but I wish I had. And it makes the story better if I did. And sometimes we take things out that don't make us feel so great or don't make us look so good. And then I went, and that doesn't make me look very good, so I'm not going to tell people that part of the story. And then as you reenact it and you keep thinking about how you'd wish that it had turned out, it actually makes it, you actually, like, by the time you've reenacted it over and over again, we have deleted and we've distorted and we've generalized. Sometimes we've just deleted, distorted and generalized a whole new event. We're actually not remembering the event that made us so angry or that we got so emotional about, we've actually made it into a completely different event, because we've deleted and we've distorted and we've generalized and we've embellished, and we don't remember it the way that it actually was. So we embellish the stories, make them bigger, and we sometimes embellish and make stories bigger than what they are because we need justification, because we feel so emotional about it. It helps to justify, I'm so angry about this. So we make it seem a lot more than what it was. And I'm so guilty. I am so dramatic. So I am guilty. But yeah, we do this because we need to justify why we're so emotional about it. But what it does is it actually, we don't see the situation and what happened for what it was. So Dr. Joe Dispenza, who I am slightly in love with, says that many of us, up to 50% of us, who are reliving, rehashing the past, are actually rehashing, reliving, and being held back by a past that didn't actually happen, because we've embellished it, we've deleted, we've distorted, we've made bigger, we've made other parts smaller, and we're reliving it in a way that it actually never happened in the first place. So it's very, very interesting. Is that a fun fact? Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. So if we have made something, if we've made it mean something negative, so something from the past, if we keep on rehashing it in a way that makes us not feel great, and if we keep on doing it, makes us angry and we wish it was different. So from a law of attraction point of view, when we keep on rehashing situations that put us in a state that don't serve us, we start thinking the thoughts. Then we start evoking the emotions. So we think the thought, oh God, I remember that bloody argument I had. Oh God, that made me mad. And then you start feeling the feelings of when you were in that situation. And then your body starts flooding it, starts flooding your body with the hormones of the emotions that you're feeling, because your body doesn't know the difference between a thought that you're having and an actual event that's happening. Your body doesn't know the difference. If you're thinking the thought, the body will just think, oh, we're doing this again, are we? Okay, cool. And we'll start feeling the feelings and evoking the hormones and the emotions. So one negative thought for long enough will attract another. I think it's 8 seconds. If you are thinking a negative thought for 8 seconds or longer, another negative thought will join that. Another 8 seconds, another negative thought will join that, until it's rolling on down the hill and got a whole heap of momentum behind it. So one negative thought attracts another and another and another. Think that for long enough, that's the level you start vibrating at from a law of attraction point of view. Now, law of attraction is, you liken, how does the saying go? Basically, what you're vibrating at is what the universe will give to you. It's got no choice, it's law. So if you start bringing down your vibration by negative feeling thoughts, that's where the universe is going to meet you. It's the law. It's just how it works. So then you start vibrating at that level, then you start attracting what you're vibrating at. So if you're feeling anger, you're going to get more things to be angry about, because that's how the law of attraction works. Or if you're feeling fear and despair, that's where the universe is going to meet you. It's going to give you more fear and despair. It's the law. It's got no choice. But even if you don't believe in the energetics of the universe, and even if you don't believe in law of attraction stuff, for no other reason to stop this negative thought pattern, it just feels like shit. So stop doing it. It just feels crap. So for no other reason, it just feels bad. So when it comes to traumatic events from the past, and we all have them. Now, this does not have to be, I was beaten as a child, I had alcoholic parents, this happened to me, that. It doesn't have to be like full-on hardcore trauma. Every time as children, if our boundaries were crossed in any way, shape or form, any time that our needs weren't met as children. And anytime our emotions weren't allowed to be fully expressed, that's trauma. So don't think really, really horrible, bad things need to happen to you for you to have had trauma in your past. How many times as children were our boundaries crossed? At Christmas time, Uncle Arthur, oh, come here, tickle, 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 tickle. Uncle Arthur, stop, I don't like it. Oh, yes, you do, tickle, tickle, tickle. Boundary crossing. When no one listens, when no one says, when you say stop and no one listens, that's a boundary crossing. Anytime your needs weren't met, Mummy, I need a cuddle. I haven't got time for that right now. Trauma, rejection, abandonment. Anytime our emotions weren't allowed to be fully expressed, when you showed anger to your parents or when you started crying, I'll stop that or else I'll give you something to cry for. Anyone heard that? We've all got traumas, okay? But if we keep on reliving these traumas, if we keep on rehashing them, they are going to hold us back. So what has happened to us, no matter what has happened to us, not our fault. And it is not fair that it happened to us. But they're our traumas and we actually need to live with the aftermath of it now. They're ours now. So what do we do about them? Whether we like it or not, they're ours. Make sense? Yeah. And it sucks. But that's the truth. That's accepting what is. Yep. Shit happened to me. And that's the way it is. I can't block it out. It happened. Okay. So with all this trauma, excuse me, how do we move past it? How do we get by it? This can trigger you. Forgiveness. Have you considered forgiveness? Now, bear with me, because I know that there might be a few people there are saying, why should I? Why should I? I'm going to tell you why. But the key to this is forgiveness is a choice, and it is your choice. No, I am not here to tell you how to live your life. I'm not here to tell you that this is what must be done. It is completely up to you whether you forgive what happened to you in your past. It is up to you. You can hang on to it for as long as you want to, but it is a choice. And there are key processes that need to happen before you make that choice. So you can't just go, oh, okay, yep, I forgive you. We're done. Like, stuff needs to happen before you get to that point, and I will explain it as we go. Okay. So hang in there with me. Okay. But forgiveness is a choice. You don't have to forgive shit if you don't want to. Okay. But I'm going to give you the pros and the cons list of choosing forgiveness. So let's actually have a look at what forgiveness actually is. So forgiveness is processing the event or the thing that happened or the person that happened. It's processing it. It's letting go of the story you have created around it and what you have made that mean about you. It is showing compassion for yourself as well as others. Because it's so important to forgive ourselves from things that have happened in the past as well. And I will explain that as well. And it's also not letting the feelings, and this is the most important part about forgiveness, it is not letting the feelings of hurt, anger, or sadness hold you back. You can let it go because they are low feeling, low vibrating emotions, okay? And if you hang on to them, they're going to keep you pulled down. It's like you're swimming in the ocean and they're coming up from underneath you and pulling you down, and they're stopping you from being the full potential of what you can be. Okay, so what forgiveness is not. Forgiveness is not forgetting what happened. It is not condoning what happened. It is not allowing it to happen again. It is not releasing the person from accountability of what they did. It is not any of those things. Is that super clear? Excellent, excellent. So it's processing, it's letting go of the story, it's having compassion for yourself and others, and it's not letting those feelings of hurt and anger hold you back, but it's not letting it be okay. It's not forgetting about it. Okay, really important. So why do we find forgiving people so difficult? Was anyone triggered by the word forgiveness? Like, was anyone like, why should I? Did anyone think that? Yeah. Yep. Awesome. Excellent. Good. Good. I'm triggering a couple of you. That's okay. So why do we find forgiveness so difficult? Because some things like unforgivable. So why do we find it so difficult? It's because we don't approve of what they did. So we can't forgive them because we don't approve of what they did. And we think that if we release the resentment and forgive what it is that they did, we're actually making the action okay. If we say, yep, I forgive you, it's okay. That's not the case. And sometimes we feel that if we forgive people and we let it go, it means that the hurt caused wasn't as significant as we think it was, and that it wasn't such a big deal. So we think that if we forgive someone, it's not going to be as significant an event in your life anymore. It's not as big. And people will think, oh, she's okay. She's over it now. It mustn't have been that bad because she's over it now. Not the case. Doesn't make it any less significant if you forgive someone or something. Okay? But what I would challenge you to think about, and as I say, this is still very general stuff, and I'm going to give you some examples. Why are you holding on to it? Why won't you forgive it? So this is a really good journaling prompt. So are you holding on to the hate and the resentment because you're using it to justify your emotions around the event? I was so mad at you. And I feel like if I let it go, I'm going to let go of that anger. But I was really angry about it. And if I forgive you, I'm not allowed to be angry about it anymore. Are you using it to justify why you're stuck? I can't move on because my mum didn't love me as much as my sisters. I can't move on because of my ex-husband left me with all this debt, so I can't move on. I can't be a better person. So are you using it to justify why you're stuck? Or are you using it for an imagined brownie points tally? Ooh, us girls have done this, haven't we? It's like, well, I know that I did something really bad, but remember the really bad thing that you did 6 months ago? Remember how bad that was? That's much worse than what I just did. Are we using it for brownie points? So yeah, have a good think about why you're holding on to it. So I've got the picture of the two little monks there because I heard a really, really good story from another coach called Melanie Ann Layer. And the story goes, there were two monks walking through a forest and they were on a sabbatical. So they weren't allowed to talk to each other. They weren't allowed to touch other people. And they were walking through the forest for, I don't know, a certain amount, let's say 6 months, just for shits and giggles. So they're walking through the forest for 6 months, not allowed to talk to anyone, not allowed to touch anyone, in silence, doing their monk thing. As they're walking through the forest, they came across a river and there was a lady drowning in the river. And so one of the monks jumped into the river, grabbed the lady and pulled her out of the river. She said, thank you so much for saving me. He said, no worries, no problem, you're welcome. And the two monks kept on walking through the forest. So 3 weeks passed and they're walking side by side, not touching, not talking. And then the other monk couldn't contain himself any longer. And he said, I can't believe you jumped in and you touched that woman and you spoke to her. We weren't meant to do that. And the other monk said, I held on to that woman for 5 minutes. You've been holding on to her for 3 weeks. So what are we holding on to and why? So I love this saying, and I'm not sure who said it. I thought it was Carrie Fisher, but then I heard someone else said it. Resentment is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. You are ingesting poison and it is not affecting the other person at all. By you hanging on to your resentment and your anger, it's not doing a bloody thing for that other person. That other person or that event that happened, it doesn't even know you're hanging on to it. It's not doing anything to that person, but it's doing things to you. Does that make sense? Yeah. So it's such a good statement. So Nelson Mandela, when he got out of jail, he said, as I walked out the door toward the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew that if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I'd still be in prison. So powerful. If he decided to hang on to all of the people who had done him wrong in 20 years, he would never be free. He'd never be free of it. So they're really, really important points. So when it comes to forgiveness, and especially through things that have happened to us in the past, know that when you decide to forgive someone, you may never, ever, ever get the apology that you're after. That person may never say sorry for it. And this can be really, really hard, but it's also you being at the effect of someone else's behavior. It's someone needing to do something for you to be okay. And you don't want to have to wait for that to happen, especially if it never, ever happens. That means that you'll never, ever be okay. Okay, so you need to be okay without the apology. And also remembering that the person who you're seeking the apology from probably don't remember things the way that you do. So I have an example of someone who had a bit of childhood trauma. When she was little, she was really overweight, and her mum at 6 years old put her into Weight Watchers. And Weight Watchers back in the day was brutal. Like if you put on weight, they would make you sit in the corner with a bib that said piggy on it. Like they would absolutely shame you for putting on weight. And this happened to a 6-year-old child. And that's horrible. Like that's an awful thing to have to go through. But then the mum was 19 when she had that child. And she was doing the best she could. This is back in the 60s. So she was doing the best she could with the tools she had. She was being advised to put her 6-year-old into Weight Watchers. She was advised by her doctor, so that's what she did. But imagine the child trying to forgive the mother for doing that. So there are two sides to every story. So the mother doesn't remember the situation the way the daughter did. The daughter just thinks, you did this to me. And the mum's like, I was doing the best I could. Is that relatable? So you may, if you are close to that person, if you are close to somebody, you may be able to ask for the apology and you may get it. So the mother might have actually said, yep, I see how that hurt you and I'm really sorry. But if that person's not close, if it's not someone who's overly important to you, you might have to reprioritize their access to you and learn how to set that boundary. So, for example, one of my recent clients was having trouble with their boss. And so what she did was we had a session on forgiveness. She decided to forgive the boss for all of the horrible things that she had done, but she now works from home. So she's reprioritized the access and she doesn't actually have to speak to this person anymore. She goes through another avenue. So reprioritize the access that person has to you and learn how to use the boundaries. So why should we? What are the benefits of forgiveness? Healthier relationships. You're not dragging all the old shit into your new relationships. Improved mental health. You're not rehashing all the negative thought patterns all the time. Less anxiety, stress, and hostility. Fewer symptoms of depression. Lower blood pressure. All the things. Stronger immune system. That stress, that cortisol, very, very bad on your immune system. All the benefits from vibrating at a high frequency. All the things from living in joy is all of the benefits that you have when you let this stuff go. Is this making sense, everyone? Has anyone got any questions so far? I'd love to hear if you have any. No, I'm getting thumbs up. I'm getting lovely, lovely. All good, excellent. Because I don't have a chat box. Is anyone doing anything in the chat box? Because I don't have it up anywhere. If someone wants to write something in the chat box again, I'll just whack it. I'll just whack it up. Because I'm feeling like no one's writing anything. Excellent. Anyone? No. No. Okay. No one's writing. Okay. Cool. Oh, here we go. Thank you. Oops. What just happened there? There we go. Excellent. Thank you. Right. Here we go. Okay. Now I know you're with me. Excellent. Amelia. Thank you, Amelia. Thank you, Patricia. So if you've got any questions or anything, like just jump on in, okay? Because I feel like I'm doing a lot of talking, which normally doesn't faze me, but you know. Oh, and look at the time, crikey. Okay. So forgiving yourself. Forgiving yourself is just as important. So when you think back on past experience, when you thought, I should have done better, I could have done better, why didn't I do better in that situation? I should have said this. I wish I'd done that. When you think back on past experiences, when you thought you could have done better, having compassion for yourself is imperative. Oh, and Amelia's got a share. I just realised. I saw that she wrote share and I just thought, oh, good, she's talking in the chat box. Get it off you, Amelia.
I was just going to say that I've actually just a couple of days ago started reading a really good book on forgiving.
Okay.
And it goes into like the pros and cons of forgiving people and the different types of forgiveness and how to get to the point of forgiveness. And it's really interesting.
Excellent.
I can
Is that the name of it?
I can go and check.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, if you want to, that'd be great. And then pop it in the chat box so everyone can grab it. Because important.
No worries.
Brilliant. Thank you, Amelia. Excellent.
No worries.
Cool. Okay. So so forgiving yourself, super, super important, because we all look back on situations and we all think, oh God, I could have done better there. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? You cannot shit talk your way into changing the situation or to be a better person. How many years have we spoken down to ourselves and gone, oh my God, you're an idiot. Why did you do that? Why did you eat that cookie again? Why have you done the thing that you said that you were never going to do again? You've tried it for years. It hasn't worked. Give yourself compassion and trust that if you knew better, you would have done better. So any time in the past where we thought, oh God, I wish I'd done better. If you could have done better, you would have done better. So how you got to where you are is far less important than what it is you do from there on in. I love that saying. Okay. So just trust that, if you could have done better, you would have. Okay. So don't shit talk yourself into being a better person. It doesn't work. Okay. So the key to polishing the turds of the past, the things that have happened to us in the past, is remember it. Take the lesson from it. And take from it an understanding of what you don't want and what you will no longer tolerate. So the trauma, the things that have happened to you in the past, use it as, yep, I really didn't want that. I don't want that happening to me again. And when that person spoke to me like that and I let it slide, I will not tolerate again. And then we're going to talk a little bit about how to do that as we move on. Okay, so that's how we polish the turds from the past. Self-forgiveness is the most important aspect. Absolutely, it is, Patricia. 100%. Forgiving yourself. Self-forgiveness leads to self-belief, leads to self-love. Okay, so how do we polish the future turds, the turds of the future? So we've all had challenge and struggle in our past. So can be anticipated that we are going to have turds thrown at us in our future. So, okay. So Amelia's just said, how can I forgive you? The Courage to Forgive, the Freedom Not to by Janice Abrams Spring and Michael Spring. Brilliant. Thank you, Amelia. We might all rush out and get that one. Sounds good. Excellent. So yeah, so we've all had struggle in the past. Anticipate that we're all going to have some sort of struggle in the future. Everything is happening for you. Now that can be a little bit triggering in itself as well. Even the crap stuff, everything is happening for you. How will you handle it when it happens? And who will you be when it happens? I love that. Who are you going to be? Who are you going to decide to be when the shit hits the fan? So it all comes down to why we're here. Why are we here? These humans having this earthly experience. Why are we here? So we are souls and spirits having a human experience. We actually opted for this, if you can believe that. We were souls floating around in the higher consciousness, and we wanted to experience life. We wanted to have the choice to be able to choose our own experience. And the big wigs, God, the universe goes, oh, you want a challenge, do you? You want choice. You know what? Go to Earth as a human. You are going to have all the choice and all the challenge you can possibly handle. And you were like, put me in, coach. I'm down for it. And so we jumped into a fetus and boom, we were born to our parents. So we put our souls, our spirits, put our hand up for this experience, because this is like spiritual tough mudder. Being a human on Earth, the tough mudder of all spiritual experiences. So we wanted to expand the consciousness of ourselves and of the collective. So we wanted the power to choose in our earthly experience, and we can do this through the lens of contrast. Love this. Okay. So what is contrast? This is the reframe to challenge. So instead of thinking that's a challenge or that's a struggle, nah, it's contrast. Thank you for the contrast. Okay. So what is contrast? Contrast is a preference between what you like and what you don't like. So with all life experience, we get to choose. Oh, that happened to me. I didn't like that.
Can you get my glasses out of my handbag?
No, Claire. No, you can't. Just mute you, darling. So yeah, it's a preference between what we like and what we don't like. So all life experience, we get to choose. I want more of that. Oh, I had a drive in a Ferrari. I want more of that. I got to eat at that fancy restaurant. I want more of that. Or I never want to experience that again. I ate KFC. It was awful. I'm never having it again. It's our ability to choose. So that is contrast. I don't want that. I do want that. So instead of looking at life as struggle and, oh, this is really hard, look at life experience through the lens of contrast. Wow, look at the universe giving me this massive amount of contrast. So when challenging things happen, oopsie daisy, woo, hang on, this happens every now and again, stay calm. Right, when challenging things happen, and they say it means the universe and God has provided you, when I edited this like 10 minutes before the masterclass, so that's why it doesn't look very good. When challenging things happen, it means the universe has provided you with incredible contrast. So when people say to you, life is happening for you, it's because the universe has given you incredible contrast. It has given you the option for you to choose what it is you want and what it is you don't want. So the opportunity to choose what you prefer and what you would not prefer. So, everyday context. That guy really hurt my feelings. That was a bad relationship. Contrast. You know what you don't want in a relationship now. What is it that you do want in a relationship? Contrast. It was a challenge, but now you know what you don't want. What is it you do? I hate this job. Brilliant. Great contrast. You know what you don't want in a job. You know what you're not going to stand for. What is it that you will stand for now? What is it that you're looking for in a job? My car is a piece of junk. Brilliant. You know what sort of car you don't want. What sort of car do you want now? My kids are being impossible. Now, this is important. My kids are being impossible. And that can be a challenge, right? And we think, well, what can we do about that? We cannot ever change a person or an event. Can't be done. But how we react, how we respond to it, that can be changed. So the contrast is, my kids are being impossible. How did I respond or react to it? How do I choose to respond and react to it next time? What don't I want to do as a parent? What do I want to be as a parent? Contrast. So knowing that we can't change our kids, but when we're the example, our kids will naturally elevate. Okay. So knowing what you don't like enables you to know what it is that you do like. So that's contrast. Does that make sense to everybody? Can we wrap it? Is that something that you might be able to use in the future? Like if you are coming up against challenge and you think, okay, not challenge, contrast. I really didn't like that experience. So how can I turn it around? What am I going to look for now? So contrast. Love it. Love it. So how do we do all of this? So how do we do the mindset shift? How do we forgive? How do we accept what is? Before we do any of that, before we can accept how things were and how they happened and what happened to us, before we can forgive what happened to us or ourselves, and before we can reframe, before we can go, okay, well, I didn't like that, I do want that, we actually need to do the work. And the work is the deep emotional processing. So when we are taking contrast from the past, we need to fully process the emotions around what happened to us before we can forgive it, before we can move on. We need to process the emotion around it. Okay? So we need to sit in the suck. We need to get angry about it. We need to feel the sadness around it. We need to feel the emotions that come up when we think about it. We need to feel them and feel them fully and through to completion. So we often don't do this, especially around our past challenges or challenges that face us, is because we have been taught to avoid it. It feels uncomfortable to sit in the emotion, so we don't do it. Or if we cry about it, it makes people uncomfortable, so we don't do it because we don't like making people feel uncomfortable. We haven't been allowed to. Oh, it wasn't that bad. What he did, he didn't mean it that way. So we don't get permission to be angry about it, to be sad about it. We were told it wasn't that bad. There you go. I'm just reading what I just said. Or we think we can't handle it. We think if we go back to the past, if it was a big traumatic event, we think that if I go back there, I can't deal with it. I can't. And sometimes we even think that we deserve what happened to us. We're not worthy of anything better happening to us. We deserve that. We had that coming. We asked for that. And we shame ourselves for it. You shouldn't have spoken to him like that. Shouldn't have done that way. And we shame ourselves for it. So that's some of the reasons why we don't process the emotions, because we think we don't deserve it. So Patricia just said, my car is crazy and needs replacing, but I can't afford it. So every time I see my car, I tell it that is an awesome car and I love it and it keeps moving. Exactly. Tell it how much you love it and it will keep on running for you, Patricia. But yeah, I love it. Contrast. It's like, I know I don't like this car. So what I do want is a nice new shiny car. How do I make that happen? Contrast, contrast. Love it. I know what car I'm not going to buy. I had a Ford Falcon that was an absolute piece of shit. Contrast. I will never buy a Ford Falcon again because I don't want to experience that. So all about contrast. That car gave me so much contrast. I was very happy to wave it off down the driveway to the next person who bought it. And I hope that they're doing well. So we need to sit in the suck. We need to fully process the emotions around the event, the trauma, the person. Okay. And we can do it. We can fully feel the emotions because you have survived every one of your hardest days because you're here. You can handle it because your strike rate for handling shit is 100% because you are here. So don't believe that you can't deal with the emotion of it because you can, because you did it before. Okay? And when you learn how to fully process an emotion, work it through your body and release it, it's dealt with. That's what's called doing the work. And it is a process. But if you don't process it, if you suppress it, if you hold on to it, if you cover it over, if you pull the rug over it so no one can see it, it's going to hide and it's going to manifest as something else, whether it be backache, shoulder pain, migraine, stomach upset, heart issues. Any of these things can manifest because of unprocessed emotion. And I'm actually reading a book at the moment from Gabor Mate called When the Body Says No. And it's all about how disease can manifest because people are people pleasers and have not expressed themselves fully. So really, really interesting read. So only when we feel all the feelings can we have compassion for ourselves and others. So only when we have felt all the feelings around it can we get into a space where we can think creatively about the situation and learn from it. If we are trying to get the lesson from a past situation, but we're still feeling angry or sad about it every time we think of it, we haven't processed the emotion around it yet. And you need to do more processing. You need to sit in it, get the emotion out of your body before you can get the lesson from it, because emotions are like a tunnel and you don't want to get stuck in the tunnel. And if you're finding that you're still getting emotional around the event or around rehashing it, and you're getting emotional, you're crying, all of the things are still, the feelings are still all coming up, you've got more processing to do, okay? So this part of it is acknowledging you're human. Our emotions are our inner compass. Our emotions have been given to us as part of the human experience to help us navigate through this lifetime. It's an incredible gift, but it's a very, very human thing. And we need to learn how to process them and how to get them out of our bodies and how to use them. So your own healing process is a priority. So before you forgive anyone, before you get the lesson from it, before you find the contrast, process the feeling around it, the emotion around it. Okay, sit in the suck, get angry about it, get sad about it, get frustrated by it. Do what you have to do, feel it and get it out of your body, okay? So once you've done that, a memory without the emotional charge is called wisdom. That's the gold nuggets. That's the polished turd. Once the thing has happened to you, once you have processed the emotion around it, once you have taken the lesson and found the contrast around it, then you've got your golden turd. That's your shiny poo. Did we all get there? It was a lot, I know. So this life contrast, this contrast that we have in this life, this ability to be able to choose our own experience is here to help us expand as people and to expand the mass consciousness. And there is no time limit to this. If you feel like you've done a lot of emotional processing and then 2 weeks later you think about it and you cry again, you haven't processed it, but there's no time to it. If you lost someone that you love and you've cried about it and then you think about them in a month's time and you start crying again, that's okay. There's no time limit to it. There is always a choice, but it's all about who do you want to be? Do you want to be someone who is a victim, or do you want to be someone who is a victor and use it? So I did ask you guys for specific things that you wanted to know about during this session. And I did get a couple of really good responses. So one was, I need to put this direct quote, and you'll hear, I need to polish the turd of my injury. So there's someone who's had something quite physically traumatic happen, and it has held them back from being and doing what they want to be and do. So my advice, if you have got something physically that is holding you back, absolutely 100% sit in the suck and process the emotions around it. Get angry about it. Why me? Why does this happen to me? God, get that anger, get the sadness, get all of that stuff, feel it and process it and get it out of your body. Punch a pillow, scream into a pillow. Do what you have to do to get the emotion out of your body and process it. And then think to yourself, who do I want to be? Because sometimes when we have a chronic injury and it takes up a lot of space, a lot of mental space and a lot of emotional space, that can feel really heavy. And that energy can bring the people around you, can make them feel heavy as well. So this is a new practice that I have just done this week, and I hope that it serves you. Every day, and this is a Dr. Joe Dispenza thing. He has done what book? Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself is a really good book by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And no worries. Thanks for coming. He says in your meditation, and I journal around this, what don't I want to be today? Who do I not want to be? What do I not want to do? What are the parts of me that I don't want today? So things that I write down in my journal is, I don't want to be a whinger today. I've just come off 2 night duties and I'm like, I do not want to whinge about being tired. So I'm not going to be tired. I don't want to be someone who's stressed about money. I don't want to be a penny pincher today. I don't want to unnecessarily worry about this. So I decide at the start of the day and I journal, what don't I want to experience today? And so I write down the parts of myself which I know that I can go into, and I think, nah, and I'm going to bring conscious awareness to it when I do it. So if I think to myself, oh God, $6 for a coffee, it's $6, Kerry. Spend it and sit down and enjoy it and have your coffee. So who do I not want to be? And then I think about, who do I want to be today? I want to be someone who is calm. I want to be in control of my emotions. I want to protect my energy, because just quietly, I have someone who's got a bit of a chronic injury happening at the moment too, and it can be hard. So I'm saying I'm going to protect my energy. I'm going to be empathetic, but I'm going to protect myself. So that's who I want to be today. So I'd say, who do I not want to be? What don't I want to experience? What do I want to experience today? And that will help you, I believe. So I hope that that serves. Excellent. Any questions? No? Okay, good. Then someone else has also written in, and sorry, I don't know the names because I just get the numbers of the people who I've texted. I don't know who sent me what, so I do apologize if you're here and I haven't mentioned your name. But what if someone who you live with is living in the past and can't get past it? Has anyone else experienced this before? And like they keep on rehashing stuff, and it's like, just let it go, dude. Just let it go. And you're like, what do I do when that person can't get past it? What I would say to that is that you can only work on your own vibration. You cannot change anyone unless they want to be changed, unless they're willing to do the work. So work on protecting your own energy, knowing who you want to be and what you want to experience, and work on your own alignment, because in the end, that is all we can ever truly have any influence on, is ourselves and our own alignment and our own inner peace. And hopefully when we do that and we're the example, they will catch on. But unfortunately, we can't do anything to fix that for them. They have to be ready to do that work themselves. So I hope that that serves whoever asked that question. I hope that that serves. Excellent. Thank you. Awesome. So how are we all feeling after all that? Just pop in the, oh, hang on. Oh, your mother, Claire, was that who it was? Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yep. And Patricia's like, yep, my dad. Yep, 100%. Yep, we've all got someone who's like, just let it go. Let it go. Yep, feel you, 100%. So I understand that this session was a lot. There was a lot to process, a lot to think about. But what it was designed to do was to just shift your thinking around how you look at struggle and how you look at challenge. Think of it as contrast, right? I really didn't like that experience. What is it that I do want now? I just wanted to show you what maybe living in the past and rehashing things is costing you. So it's costing you your peace of mind, and it can be costing you your health. And to reframe how you look at challenge in a way that's going to serve you and not hold you back and keep you in those low vibrating feelings. So that was the objective behind that masterclass. So I hope that that has served it. Can I just put a little comment in the inbox, or like a thumbs up, or a if it's helped, if it's served? I would love to know. And if it didn't, say nothing. Tell me later. Excellent. My pleasure, Catherine. Excellent. Thank you. So if challenging if challenging your thinking in this way lights your fire, you're going to love my program, The Afternoon Shift. So, excellent, Louise. I'm so glad. So my coaching program is called The Afternoon Shift. So what it's all about is there's a shift in focus and a shift in energy from all of the shit that's going on out here back to inside, back to your internal calm. Oh, good. I'm glad, Shelley. Great. Excellent. So, yeah, so my signature coaching program, all about shifting your focus. Excellent. I'm glad, Sarah. Oh, my pleasure, Kirsty. Oh, good. Thanks, Cherie. So my mission, my purpose, the reason why I started this business and the reason why I do what I do is to guide women back to the truth of who they are, to take control of their life, direction, to find freedom, growth, and joy. So that's what I'm here to do, and that's what this coaching program does. And I do this by diving into your human design. So this is the blueprint. This is how you're designed to work. This is how you're designed to move through this world with the most flow and the least resistance. I build up self-trust and self-love. When you know your human design and you can trust how it is that you're meant to move through this world, that makes you fall in love with yourself all over again, and your true self, not the masks you wear, not the roles you play. Bringing understanding to why you aren't where you want to be. A lot of people know that they don't want to be where they are, but they don't know how to get to where they want to be. And shining a light on what has been holding you back, and then working through that shit. And I guide you through moving you through all of those things that are holding you back. And I'm not even going to start going into it because there is too much. I feel like a new woman now. That's fantastic. Wow. I need to save this chat because this is like going in my socials. Thank you so much for that feedback, ladies. So within the afternoon shift, I do 3 levels of human design reading. There is 20 weeks of group coaching, but some of these ladies Patricia, for one, has been with me since, how many years have we been together, Patricia? I think 2 years.
getting on to 2 years.
Yep, 2 years now. So Patricia is one of my first followers, and she has been my client for the last 2 years. And I think you might have missed 10 sessions in those 2 years of group coaching. So I say that the group coaching is for 20 weeks, but I encourage you to stay for as long as you like, because we have those sessions on repeat and they land differently every single time. You have unlimited Facebook Messenger voice support. So if something comes up for you, Kerry, I need a hand, I'll go, yep, go for it. Tell me what's on your mind. And we go back and forth. We can also do one-on-one sessions as well. You join the Afternoon Shift Alumni, which is the Facebook group. So the Facebook group has got everything in it. It's how we communicate. It's got all of the links. It's got all of my masterclasses. It has got all of my paid programs in this Facebook group, and you've got access to it at all times. And you also have access to all the shorter programs I run. So I have done this year 1 paid masterclass and 3 4-week programs. So I've done the 2023 Year of Me. I've done the Self-Care Matters program, which was mind-blowing. And I've also done a parenting program. So using human design to help with your parenting as well, to help you support your children in their human design. So, and also I've also done an Anxiety Busters masterclass as well. So all of these shorter programs plus the 20 weeks group coaching, stay as long as you like, human design, you get all of those things. So if you guys would like to jump on a call with me, I will just pop the link in the chat, but you will always also get it in the replay as well. Oops, I just think I've sent that to Jackie directly. How do I send it to everyone? Oh, where is everybody? Oh, there we are. Oh, good. Okay. I'm not sure if that. Oh, yeah, there we go. Excellent. So you can jump on that link. That gets you through to my calendar, and you can jump on a 45-minute no obligation call to just so we can have a talk about what challenges you're having and for me to be able to show you how I work through them. Okay. So just a couple of, oh, thank you, Kirsty. Literally the best money that she has ever spent. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Kirsty. And I've actually got a few of my clients on here. So if anyone wants to jump off and sing my praises, please do. But I've got a couple of written ones here as well. So happy to share those as well. So yeah, so Nikki Ford's in there, and she's like, I know I have so much to learn, but everything is making sense. Finally starting to understand who I am. So it's all about getting back to who you really are. I was drowning and you helped me find my way out. Love what I do. Gaynor, God love her. Gaynor I did a post about her last week. She quit her job that was not lighting her up, and she has now found the job of her dreams. Appreciate all your guidance, gives me the courage to take the action. And there's from Kirsty there. I cannot thank you or tell you how much I appreciate what you've done for me and what you do for others. Like, these messages just like warm my heart. And what I love about my program is that people get a bit scared around coaching programs because they think, oh my God, there's going to be massive change and people aren't going to recognize me anymore. It's not that at all. It's a slow evolution of you coming back to the truth of who you are. And it doesn't change your life, but it changes how you experience your life. And that is what it's all about. It's all about the internal experience that you're having of your life. And that's what I'm here to create for you. So, without any further ado, if you would like to know more about that program, jump on a call. As I say, no obligation. Let's just have a chat and follow me on my socials. So follow my personal page, Kerry Thorne, business page, Operation Abundance. And I've also got a free Facebook group that is called The Expansion Project, because we are here to expand as humans and as spirits. And that's what this group is all about. So it's a bit about human design, but it is all about tuning into your feminine intuition as well. And anything that is going to make us expand as people and as spirits, that's what that group is all about. So it's a little bit science, a little bit woo-woo, all me. And then Instagram, Operation Abundance HD. So follow me on all of those as well. And I would love to chat with any of you at any time over anything. So I hope that you guys got heaps and stacks and tons of value out of that session. Has anyone got anything that they want to share before we jump off? Because we are like spot on, smack bang on time, like 2 minutes over. So good. Is there any shares? Awkward silence? No one? Okay, all right. I need to word people up beforehand. It's all good. All right then, ladies. Well, thank you very, very much for joining me and spending your Tuesday night with me. My afternoon shifters, I will see you tomorrow night, which is going to be a very, very good session, diving back into our human design again. Yay. And if anyone wants to jump on that clarity call, please do so. I would love to chat with you all about all the things that are going on for you and how I can help make it better. Have a great night, everybody. And I will be sending you the replay shortly. I love it, Carol. Okay, bye everyone. Bye, 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 bye.